All right, guys, welcome back to Above Ground World News. It's June 23rd, 2019. We're still here. I don't know how, but we're still here. Every day is a challenge. We got so much news to get in, I don't even know where to start. Like, there's so much stuff to cover that we can't even get to it all, but we'll do our best here. We're going to jump right in it. Let me pause this. We're going to get into the 16-day forecast. Check out this volcano that went off. The Cirrus, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's there by the Kuril Islands. Look at this blast of toxic sulfur coming out, all the volcanic ash, and this thing is drifting right over towards the west coast. But the crazy thing, let me get this where I want it, is look at the ship track operations over here. We couldn't find them yesterday, and the reason why is because they're all over here, the bunker fuel. Let me turn on this layer. Look at all these crisscrossing patterns and the yellow lines of the bunker fuel all over the place. So now we know where they are. But yeah, mega blast out here. I mean, this is some pretty good. This thing goes off quite a bit. But one of the crazy things is we got a lot of volcanoes going off. We'll get into that here in a second, but I wanted to come over here to the above ground page over here on the CIA page here, the above ground page that always gets censored like crazy. But the international commerce runs on sulfur laden bunker fuel. Resulting emissions are causing problems on dry land. Roughly 70% of the maritime industry's emissions occur within 250 miles of land, exposing hundreds of millions of people to harmful pollutants. Yet cargo ships tucked within the industrial ports are cruising far offshore, or often out of sight, leaving the public oblivious to the health hazard posed by these shipping emissions. Sulfur oxides can harm people's respiratory systems, cause breathing difficulties, particularly for children, older adults, and asthma sufferers. Sulfur pollution also contributes to airborne particulate matter. The tiny particles that enter the bloodstream and damage the lungs and heart can lead to heart attacks, aggravated asthma, increased hospital admissions, premature deaths. Chronic exposure to shipping-related fine particulate emissions results in about 400,000 premature deaths each year from a lung cancer and cardiovascular disease, according to a 2018 study. So yeah, that's why we're talking about the bunker fuel all the time. And hopefully I can close that out. So we've had tons of volcanic activity. We got earthquakes going on like 100 miles off the coast from Oroville Dam. Just like 100 miles away, a good sized quake. So today we had pop. I can't talk tonight. Popo. We'll call it Popo. It went off today. 5,000 foot. Then we had Fuego. It was 4,000 meters. We got ash advisories going everywhere. We had a 27,000 foot intermittent emissions. Sabancaya, Dacono, they went up to 6,000 feet. So we got tons of volcanic activity going on, along with the earthquakes, along with the weather warfare. It's just like non-stop. And I tried to take a look at this Cirrus volcano, the ash advisories, and the only news that comes up, we have one article from May 16th, and everything else is, nothing on what's going on today. So I guess we have to report on it because nobody in the mainstream is going to talk about it. Also had a 5.6 earthquake off the California coast. No reports of casualties or damage. But this thing is like 100 miles due west of the Oroville Dam. Also had a 5.4 quake that hit China. 31 people injured. This is the same place that got hit just a while back. that killed a lot of people. In fact, I think it's in here. Yeah, 12 people were killed and 220s were hurt after the 6.0 back on the 17th. So the earth is quaking and rattling and spewing. And here's the last volcanic eruption they got there at the Sorry Shoe, or whatever, however you pronounce that. Pretty crazy looking photo here. So the big blast. Definitely picked it up. A little video here of it going off from the so-called ISS. Probably a spy plane that got this. That's pretty clear. So that's when it went off back, I think, in 2009. Yeah, July 1st, 2009. And I was looking on here, and we did pick it up in the particulates, the PM 2.5s. Got just a little blast right there. I mean, it didn't pick up real great, but that just shows you how accurate the earth null is. And we can see the bunker fuel is being deployed in these two low pressure systems, which we'll jump into that here in a minute. Let me go ahead and pause that so we're not using up the bandwidth. Here's another view of this from the RAM slider. This is looking down at the northern hemisphere. And I don't know if it's going to load for me. This thing is a resource killer. Now, I had all these images loaded, but it probably won't play. But the bunker fuel operations are just nuts. Yeah, it's not going to load now. What the heck? So I spent like an hour, maybe 2 hours trying to get all these frames loaded. And now it's not going to work. Wow. Okay, that sucks. All right, we're going to close that down because that's just eating up the bandwidth there. We'll come over here to the Facebook page. Check this out from, this was Anderson, Missouri. I mean, we got mega flooding. These storms are just nuts. They're flooding everywhere. It's not just Missouri. But, yeah, they're hitting everywhere. We got crazy lightning going on in Tulsa. This was like 21 hours ago. I noticed with these storms, when they rolled through Missouri, I mean, just mega winds. It was a wind event. We called that in the 16-day forecast 2 weeks ago. It was definitely a wind event, but there was like no thunder. It was weird. It was all lightning, no thunder. So pretty crazy there. We're just trying to close these as we go. We've almost had a year's worth of rain already in Missouri. Not to mention, that's just in Kansas City, not to mention Nebraska, Iowa. So the storm we just got, it was like 6 inches of rain in 12 hours. And when you go and you look at all the information on the weather modification, on the electromagnetic technologies, they all offer, 10 times the amount of rain. And that's what we're seeing with all these storms. Just another evidence that they're fabricating all this stuff. This is all man-made power outages. Trees are down. Just tons of stuff going on. There's a crazy photo, if I can find it. Oh, did I already close that page? Hang on here. Damn it. There was manhole covers. Let me see if I can load this up. Manhole covers were blowed right off the road from the rain. The rain was pouncing down. Let me try to get over here and see if I can find it. Let me jump down here, if it'll load. And I do got a video to upload tonight, hopefully tonight, of that drive I took up to Kansas City in a crazy storm. In fact, I could probably, if we get time later, I'll play a little bit of it. Well, if we can get this to load, man, I can't get anything to work on Fedbook. Like, it takes forever for it to load. Okay, that was the lightning. I got that. Where is the photos of the manhole covers blowing off? It's crazy. All right, I know I had them. There they are. Check this out. This was up in KC. Look at the water blowing the manhole covers up, man. It was like an explosion from the ground up of water. It was a rain bomb like crazy. Cars were floating away. It was pretty crazy. So there you go. Yeah, them are nuts, man. Nuts stuff there. Let me close that out. Get rid of this. We also had a driver drowns and his home washed away in central U.S. Dangerous flooding in parts of southwest Missouri, Arkansas, northeast Oklahoma. Homes were evacuated down in Neosho and Anderson, Missouri. Used to go canoeing down there in Neosho. Last time I was down there canoeing, a dam broke. We had to evacuate our campground. So water rushed through the streets of Seneca and Neosho, Missouri. There was a number of water rescues. Trees were down. So prayers for all the people affected by these man-made storms. Then we also got some action going on up here. Up to 600 members of alleged militia groups are expected to mobilize in Oregon-Idaho border in effort to protect state GOP lawmakers who fled climate change vote. So here, let's see if this works out. We had snowstorms that led to flight cancellations in Colorado. They got feet of snow on the first day of summer. 113 canceled flight, 589 delays. This was back on Tuesday. This article came out Friday or something. The U.S. government just officially recognized the Satanic Temple as a religion. We always tell you guys it's a battle between the good and evil. Here they go. They're trying to creep up. And then we got this. The first genetically modified animals approved for U.S. consumption. The salmon produced by Aqua Bounty are the first genetically modified animals approved by the U.S. This stuff is coming out of Indiana. The thousands of salmon eggs genetically modified to grow faster than normal are hatching into tiny fish after growing roughly to 10 pounds in indoor tanks and then coming to a restaurant near you. This is just like the modified chickens. You know, when we first got chickens, we didn't know about chickens. We didn't know what the meat birds were, and we got one, and man, it was the cutest chicken you ever, but she like grew so fast, and we called her name was Angel, and she only lived about 7 months, but man, she was huge compared to normal chickens. You could tell she was a GMO bird, and she died of a heart attack. But we kept her in the house. When you see what the GMOs do, the modified to the animals, man, it's just sad stuff. Got more news on that. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the watches and warnings. We had tons of tornado stuff. Getting ready to jump into the 16-day forecast. Just got to check all this stuff real quick here. Had tornadoes warnings right there at the border, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio. Had a warning up there in Michigan. Tons in Kansas, Arkansas. And let's just go ahead and run up. Yeah, right there on the border. And then back in Missouri, back in the same areas. It's pretty crazy. There's a system they had parked over Colorado, and once they got it seeded good, they blew it on off, and it's coming in to make a second round for the same areas that just got hit. Let's go ahead and check the watches and warnings. Severe thunderstorms in Fort Worth, Texas, Norman, Oklahoma, flash floods everywhere. So we did have a tornado in northern Indiana, Amarillo, Texas, and Buda, Kentucky. Anyway, we'll get into this part here in a little bit. Now, one thing I want to make note about this bunker fuel that's being deployed out here, this is going to affect the weather engineering. You got all this volcanic ash mixing in with the bunker fuel, the poison bunker fuel. We try to bring in this other worldview map. Alright, so this is the other one that I already had preloaded. And I'm on the 23rd. Okay, so this is today. We do have a few ship tracks over here, straight out off the coast of California, straight out from where the earthquake hit. But the reason why we didn't see the huge operation out here is because they're over here. I mean, look how blatant these lines are. All these white thick lines. These are the ship tracks. These are the bunker fuel. So you're not only have these systems seeded with these ships. I mean, there's a crap load of them out here. You also have the volcanic ash that's going to mix in with these things. I don't have that part loaded. So yeah, man, mega. Now what they could do is they could actually overseed the system, and it may not rain, but I mean, we got to watch this stuff because we see what they do. Let's go ahead and jump into the 16-day forecast, and we'll jump into all this stuff just to get that out of the way. I want to thank everybody that's joining us here on YouTube, over on DLIVE, over on Twitch, over on Facebook. So here we are right now. Let's go ahead and pull this all the way up. This will give us a good idea where the target zones are for the flooding. And this is the 16 days worth of moisture. So we can see up there in Wisconsin and Minnesota right there, pretty good band up there. Arkansas is a target. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, well actually more Tennessee, and then on down into southern Florida, or the peninsula of Florida there. So we got a lot of rain coming. And these are not normal rains. These are the train rains. We showed you last night about the One World train and where all these tracks are. I mean, you line them all up, it's like this is part of the land grab. Everything is for multi-purposes. You know, they're showing 6 hours of rain each step up. In 6 hours of rain, you're looking at almost 5 inches of rain. So almost an inch per hour. We're getting just crazy amounts of moisture. Thanks out there, Bamboo. Much love to you. All right, let's go ahead and get this on the forecast. This is the weather plan. This thing don't change. I mean, we're going to go ahead and check this out. We're going to watch the we're going to go with the GFS, and we're going to check out the Canadian model real fast. And then we're going to add in the weather modification programs as we go. And we'll be more accurate probably than any meteorologist out there. They suck. We could actually forecast the rain by the chemtrails. It's like clockwork, by the electromagnetic cloud frequencies. We can see what they look like because we know of all the tests they do. Alright, so here we are. We're over on the GFS model. We're going to take this up 6 hours at a time. And all the wind events that we said a couple weeks ago, they hit right on time, right on target. This is the weather plan from Raytheon right here. So in the next 12 hours, here is the moisture. We're looking at, 6 inches of rain, heavy rain, from Texas, parts of Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, and we're going to go up another 18 hours. So here in 18 hours, that storm's going to really fire up right there at the border of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, This is going to be super heavy rain. This is showing up to 10 inches of rain. So this is going to be a mega flood alert. Historic flooding is going on everywhere. Then within the next 24 hours, it's going to die down just a little bit, but we're going to have to watch to see if they're spraying out ahead of the storm. And look at that. We jump another 6 hours, and this thing combines with all that bunker fuel and all the volcanic ash. And it's just a huge swath of rain. More storms firing up in Texas. They'll be severe. Heads up for Texas, Ohio. And then it's going to go, you know, where all the storms, hold on here, I got to get a drink. Where all the storms have been shooting up is right over Wisconsin, Michigan area. The low pressures are just every single time, and they're shooting up here. Then you get this whole arm of moisture coming down and around. There are cloud seeding up in Oregon, Washington. Then they cloud seed over the Bajas of California. And then they take the cool air that's over the mountains. They mix it all and pull the atmospheric river up from the Gulf of Mexico, and wham, you have all these training storms. They're all fabricated. They're all firing off in the same spots every day. Here we are on June 25th. Still storming in Texas, up along the northeast. Heavy rain. Here we are on Wednesday, June 26th. More severe weather. So far, we're not seeing as big of a wind event, but we'll see here. We'll get on through this Wednesday, June 26th. Severe weather for the whole South. Florida's getting rain right at the border. You know, Chicago was the or Illinois, that was the target of the flooding the last couple weeks, and they got it. It's everywhere now. So here through the end of the 26th, going into the 27th, here's where it starts getting a little tricky. You got rain for Oregon, Washington, Idaho, coming down through the Dakotas, and they're firing right off where we're flooded right now. And then you got severe heavy storms in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee. So if you're in these areas on the 27th, write this down, June 27th. These are going to be powerful storms. And then going still in the 27th, Kansas is going to get into the action, parts of Missouri. Same areas, man. They're really targeting this area in Oklahoma and Kansas. They have been all year. So we're going to take this up a little farther. Here we are on Friday, June 28th. More thunderstorms popping off in the south. More rain for Northern California and Oregon. Take this up. Look, we're going to get severe weather and tornadoes up to Canada on Friday, June 28th. Heavy rains. This will be a little bit of a wind event up here. So heads up for the upper north here on Friday, June 28th. We'll take this on up. Still raining. Big pressure, high pressure over the west there. That's going to stay dry. Got some pretty good winds. Be looking for power outages over in California. The PG&E will be turning the power off. More rain for the upper north. I mean, it's just going to keep on going. Here we are on Saturday, June 29th. And I'm just going to speed this up just a little bit until we see something really big firing up here. Some more potential heavy storms here on June 30th. Even up in the northeast. Could be tornadoes. I'm not seeing a lot of tight wind patterns, so that's one good thing. More super strong storms up in the north on the 30th. And then we're going to get just a little bit of a break, but not for long. Here's where the more severe weather comes in on July 1st. We knew this was coming on July 1st. It's been on this map for a while now. So up in North Dakota, Wyoming, tornadoes, Illinois, tornado. Maybe something even there in South Carolina. This is on July 1st. We'll just see where this goes. See, this storm is going to really pack a punch up there in North Dakota, while the west is going to be getting a break still. We'll have to take a look at the temperature maps too. And that storm just kind of locked up there. More rain for the south, and then we'll have some small supercells there in Florida on July 2nd. Also out in Bermuda, man, be looking for some heavy duty storms. Minnesota, same thing. All right, we'll take this on up. I mean, the rain, this is going to be the rainiest year on record. It's going to surpass all the other records for rain. So here we are on July 3rd. We're getting ready to go into the July 4th forecast. Severe weather, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, Montana. I mean, you just got to watch all around the area, down in Florida, even in Mexico. We'll take this up another 6 hours. That's going to track straight east. So it's going to stay in the same areas. So, you know, if you're getting 4 inches of rain every 6 hours, you're looking at 8 to 10 inches of rain over the 12-hour period. It's going to go right over into Minnesota, right smack in the center of Minnesota. And here we are into July 4th. So going from the 3rd into the 4th. So this will be your fireworks day forecast right here. We're going to take this up 6 hours. I want to see 12, 16. All right, so it's not going to be like too many wicked storms except for up in Wisconsin. So July 4th up here in Minnesota, Wisconsin, heads up. You're going to be getting the severe weather. No real big winds. So there's not going to be like a lot of wind factor, but there's going to be a lot of rain, light rain. Nothing more than an inch, inch and a half of rain, which does suck. It's probably more of a normal rain pattern right here. Going up into July 5th. That looks kind of suspicious down there off Florida. So yeah, look at this rain. It's not going to stop. Then we'll start getting back into the severe weather on July 6th. And look at the winds. The winds are going to be pretty tight over there in California, Oregon, Washington. The PG&E will be shutting power off here around July 6th. You know, it don't even make sense, but that's what they do. Minnesota, more severe weather. North Dakota on July 6th. Look at all the rain for everybody. The only people not getting rain is over here. Low pressure, they should be getting rain, but it's not. Everything that these meteorologists learn, man, it's not going to their plan. I mean, it's going completely different. High pressure means, you know, if you're watching your local TV station and they say high clouds or filtered sun, that just means you're high pressure. You're not going to get the fair weather clouds. You're going to get the chemtrail planes mucking up the sky, bombarding your skies. That's what filtered sun means. High cirrus clouds, that's what it means. Here on July 7th, it started over. So just mega rains, man. Looks like more severe weather for Nebraska, Illinois, West Virginia, Virginia. And look, that low pressure kind of goes right up in the same areas, man. That's just crazy how there's something wrong with the jet stream. We're going to have to get into the jet stream winds. And this is far out as we can go, July 9th. Heavy rains for Florida going up through the Ohio Valley. And still staying dry. They're getting ready to start droughting the west coast out. All right, let's check the Canadian model just real quick. We'll buzz through it pretty fast. It's hitting a full 16 days here. So if you're at, all the critical dates in your area, write them down, because it'll be there. It might be a little, 6 hours before, 6 hours later, but it'll be there. All right, we're just going to kind of scroll through this pretty quick on the Canadian model. I really wish we could have time to go over the weather worldwide. In fact, we'll expand this out real quick, because I think we may have some tropical stuff brewing on the west side of Mexico. So I want to take a quick look at that. I'm just seeing, okay, nothing too crazy on there except for this storm that's coming through right now. Look at that. That's for Monday, tomorrow. So right there, that's pretty much matching up with the GFS. Let me go ahead and get a full view of this area so that we can get the tropics in here. If I can find the right map here. Let's just go ahead and use this one. Let me get it back on the GFS. Alright, so we want to be watching down here around the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, there's probably a better way to get to this. That's something I'll dig into for tomorrow night, because it'll be a while for that thing pops off there. Here, we can go to current storms. We got Invest 93. Yeah, take a look at the spaghetti noodle models here. So there is a chance of development coming up, going right over the Bajas. And we'll see, man. Right here is where they cloud seed all the time. So we will see how that pans out. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's take a quick look at the Earth null. And really, this thing that the ships are, it looks like a freaking cyclone up here. Looks like they're seeding this low pressure system. Here comes all the Sahara dust. See, this is really, it's kind of a triple action threat of you got particles coming from the Sahara Desert coming up, which will knock down any chance of hurricanes forming. I mean, this was a big flume of PM 2.5s. This is toxic. This is carcinogens. So that's coming up to mix in with the clouds. It's going to be like a raining glass. And then, of course, you had the volcanoes that have gone off. You got all the fires that are going up in the north, down in the south. Then you add on the chemtrails. You add on bunker fuel, land, sea, and air, and then the cloud ionizers, the electromagnetics. Now I want to check the polar vortex winds. I mean, something odd is going on right around the equator. When we go down and look at the polar vortex winds, hey, thanks there, Razor Queen. Yeah, 7.2 quake just hit off to Indonesia. Yeah, I'll pull in the earthquake thing here. So we could go ahead and come back to this. Let me see if I can bring in the earthquake 3D. So let me pop that down. We try to bring this up here and I'll load it in. So give me a second here, guys, and we'll check this out. So let me add a source in here. Alright, so we want to get, it's reading the data. See if I can get this brought in. Alright, let me get this big enough that we can see it better. Now alright, hopefully you guys can see that. Oh wow, look at that. Alright, let's put our depth in here. So that's actually a pretty deep quake. And that happened just now. Hey, thanks for the heads up out there. So we got a lot of, let me turn this down to, let's turn the magnitudes down to about a 4. So this is going to be more pressure going up and around over to the east or over to the west and up. Now the seismic pressure is going to travel, so we already have the big quakes going off there in Japan. Up in Russia, we just had the volcano going off. We got the one, would they downgrade that one in California to a 3.9? They did. So we got a series of 4s. Hey, thanks there, Kim. All right, so that seismic pressure is going to keep on moving, man. We need to be looking around Alaska for a big earthquake, volcanic activity to match, you know, pretty much of the seismic pressure that's going now. So we're looking at 5s. So these are going to travel right on around. So we got to fill in some gaps here. So we'll see where you go to the last 7 days, man, you're just like, whoa, look at that. It was turned to and this is the 4 magnitudes. We turn it on up to, so here's all our 6.0 activity in the last 7 days. So this seismic pressure is going to go up and around to the Aleutian Islands, and it's going to go straight across over into South America. So we could possibly have seismic pressure coming over to South America, up into Mexico, and then on up, along with more pressure coming from the north. You know, I have to go get caught up on some of the earthquake forecasts over there that Dutch does and see where we're at. Could be a big earthquake getting ready to hit somewhere around here. Now we go ahead and put this on the last day and get that to around the 5s. So we got new seismic pressure coming in at a 7.5. That's pretty deep. Let's check this out and see how deep and stuff this was. Yeah, I know all the YouTubers out there, but I don't really get time to watch other channels, man. I wish I did, but I can't, man. I just got to cover this stuff myself. So yeah, 7.3. So this pressure looks like it could be, you know, most of the big deep earthquakes really start off kind of over here, you know, north of New Zealand. So this pressure, man, it could go 3 different ways right here, 4 different ways. 208 kilometers deep. Let's go ahead and put on, yeah, we know there would be no tsunami warnings with that. All right, let me close that. I'd like to put on, whoa, what'd I do here? Dang it. I need to go to the settings here. Hey, thanks there, Larry. Much love out there. Thanks for helping us out. So 1 day, all magnitudes. Let's go to the 7 days. 4.5 and above. And we'll do the largest magnitude first. This will give us a little idea of where the pressure is going. Alright, so 7.3 in Indonesia, so that's going to probably leave for some damage. Well, that thing could be off the coast there. Man, we may have to go, okay, that was on the 24th. That's, right now. That's the one that happened right now. We need to go check the, Data buoy center. See if we got any kind of tsunamis. I didn't spell it right. Never do. Man, there we go. I don't know if that's the one I want. I need to really organize my links and stuff. Never know when this stuff's gonna pop off. Alright, oh, I forgot to take off the earthquake 3D there. So let me take that off. Maybe, if it'll let me. Alright, there we go. Yeah, this isn't the one I want. This is the Oregon one. We'll see where it takes us anyway. We'll try to use it. Thanks there, Christy. Much love out there. Alright, this isn't where I want the whole map, man. I want the national. I guess I can scroll over. It sucks I can't find the actual. Anybody got the link for that? I'm gonna have to scroll around. Hey, thanks there, Rhonda Long. Yeah, this isn't the data. I know where I can go to get this stuff. Let me go over to the climate viewer thing, climate viewer news. He's got all the links right there. There we go, right there. Oh, and I keep forgetting to fix the link. Yeah, if you go, come over here to climateviewer.org/3D/. If you click on more up here and click this Earth monitor, Jim's put all the links that I use up here, and then he's got tons of other links up here. And you can submit your chemtrail pictures here and videos. But right here, here's all the satellite imagery that I use. You got tracking, you got ship tracking, earthquake stuff. Now let me find the data buoys. Pretty sure he's got it on here. And if he don't, I'll have, there it is, National Data Buoy Center. This hopefully is the one I want that shows the map. Here we go. Now I'm where we're at. So let's see if we have any in event mode. You know, the last time they had a big earthquake over here, they turned that buoy off. The buoy was off, man. That last tsunami that hit over there, the buoys weren't working. So I'm not seeing. We'll give this thing a second to load. We kind of need to scroll over just a little bit. And we still have that in the way. Okay, hold on. The thing is it. There we go. I couldn't get that out of the way. And that is, it should be, yeah, right in there. So it's not showing any kind of tsunami or anything. But who knows, the buoys may not be working. There's another way we can check the buoys. If we go over here to the tropical cyclone page. And man, I can't look over here, damn it. Oh, maybe we can. So let's get up right there. And see if it loads. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that, man. While we're waiting on that, we're gonna load that too. How come it's not a... Alright, so we want to go here. Let me just try that, see what happens here. Oh wow, on this one it won't give me the see, I can put the data buoys and all that stuff on here, these ships. It's not gonna let me do it unless there's a storm there. Alright, so can't do nothing with that. Alright, let me get out of there. Might as well take a look at the Mimic to see what they're doing. We know the ship tracks are over here. We got a few ship tracks over here. The atmospheric river is all screwed up. It's not running anything like it should, because you got too many countries pulling and pulling and pushing on the rivers of the sky. Sometimes we can definitely detect crazy stuff going on when these earthquakes go on. Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing too crazy down there. Definitely a program going on there in Australia. We'll see that a little bit better in the worldview map. Alright, so as of right now, we're not getting any buoys in event mode. So there's really nothing to check. We'll check that before the end of the show, though, just in case. And where are we at here? Alright, so I wanted to show you, we just showed you the big shipping op. Let me add the ship track layer in here on today's map. Alright, so we're going to add on the 3.7 microns. We're going to see the mass bunker fuel operation over there by where the volcano went off. And then we're going to see where they are today. They're thousands of miles from where they were. Wow, do I got one up already? So yeah, this is from so this is yesterday's. And you can see all the bunker fuel being deployed out here. All these lines, these thick white lines, if you can see them, that's all the bunker fuel. Hey, no problem there, Rosie. Thanks. Thanks, Mark, out there. Alright. So, yesterday, there was very few tracks out here. Let me bring this one over. I got two going at once here. So, today, look, there's a shipping operation over here with the bunker fuel straight out off the California coast. You got one operation right here and then one operation right here. And then we'll look way up in China, over here in the Russia-China area. So you got a secondary, this is weather war going on, and they're probably working together. We showed you last night the One World train and how they're all working together. So, you know, it's reason to believe that they're working together with the weather plan, the New World Order. We got fires going on down here in Arizona still. Look at the smoke coming off that. It almost looks like volcano. No spraying going on as of this moment over Bajas. You know, the spraying operations may go down because of all the bunker fuel. Look, here's the bunker fuel, big X. From all the bunker fuel, they'll overseed and then it won't rain. It'll be too much seeds in the sky. Small spraying operation over Montana, but that's where all the rain's getting ready to come. You got operations up in North Dakota, Minnesota. That's where all the rains are coming. They seed out ahead of every single one of these storms. You got a mass spraying operation there in Toronto, mixed in with the fire smoke. There's another aspect to the chemicals in the sky. We got a big spraying operation there off the coast, the East Coast. Yesterday we had a big spraying operation over the Gulf of Mexico. And total cloud seeding in front of all the storms. Trying to find the best layer here to let that load up pretty good. I had one of these pretty well loaded. Maybe it's this one. Nope. Yeah, I had 2 loaded, and there's a big, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close that one out. We're probably done with that one anyway. So we're just gonna have to wait on this load just a little bit here. While we're waiting on that to load, let me go ahead and shut that down. Shut some of this stuff down. Let me go ahead and check, make sure no tornadoes are going off. We're all good there. All right, let's get back to this for a minute, and then we'll check that buoy center. So here we're looking at the winds up in the ionosphere, up in the troposphere, way up here. They steer these things, man. This is what caused the polar blast that we got over the winter time. They did a rapid heating event. I've done some shorter videos on how they pushed the Arctic air over the United States, and it started drifting too far over to Europe. And then they did another rapid heating event and pushed it back over, and then it stayed over the United States for like 2 months. Let me just go ahead and check the temperatures just to see. If there's any kind of heating events going on. Sometimes, you know, this is kind of a heating event. I really think they're trying to defrost up here to get that railroad all the way in. The super railroad. Alright, we'll go ahead and jump back into the winds, because I want to check the jet stream. Let this get loaded really good. Oh yeah, they're definitely man-made. The bunker fuel is being mixed up. So even, you know, the so-called contrails takes a chemical reaction to make. They're mixing different mixes in the bunker fuel, and they're the one, they admit that the they call them contrails, we call them chemtrails. They admit that they're changing the weather. Here, I got a clip for you.
So you just mentioned contrails. So how do the contrails affect or have an impact on the climate?
Right. Well, contrails have a huge impact on climate. And so, in fact, some of the recent modeling work that has come out of DLR suggests that contrails today, just the ones that we're able to see up in the sky, maybe today, this week, this month, have a larger impact on Earth's climate than all of the carbon dioxide emitted by aircraft since the first powered airplane flight. So that's a huge effect. And so even as CO2 accumulates, greenhouse gas sphere, the impact of these contrails trapping heat and reflecting sunlight back into space is having a huge effect on the Earth's energy balance. And so
that's right, ladies and gentlemen, they're dumping more particles this week. Contrails are worse now this week, this month, than all of aviation history put in through history. So right there, they're telling you that it's affecting the Earth's energy balance. That is the climate change. It's what they're doing to our skies, and you can't argue that, man. It's all there. Yeah, one of these days I will do some kind of clip and make fun of their little chemtrail emblems. Now the jet stream finally has a trough and a ridge in it, but it's been all straightened out. Like there's something wrong with the jet stream. I want to check the vortice layer real quick. And you know what I like to look at? I think what they're doing is when they're using the electromagnetic NEXRADs to do the electromagnetics to steer the atmospheric rivers, what they do is they actually target the high pressures and they bust off little chunks to create low pressures. So right here, when you're looking at the scalar field level, we know the ships are right over here. We know they're up here. And then we have two separate areas right here, right here where these are splitting off. So they're trying to create a couple of different systems there, and then they'll send them our way. So I'm pretty good on that. Let's go ahead and check the ocean wave heights. Still got that big anomaly down there below New Zealand. 40-foot waves. So you got almost 40-foot waves down here. See if they're headed towards New Zealand. note they're going to kind of split apart. So no big deal on them right now. And they've been talking, they're still talking there's a El Nino, and there's not no El Nino. Here's the sea surface temperatures. Everything's actually pretty cool. And when we look at the sea surface temperature anomalies, there is no El Nino whatsoever out here. In fact, look how cold the water is out off of Africa. I mean, the Atlantic's a little bit warm, but no El Nino whatsoever. All the heat anomalies are right over the Bering Strait, where they're putting in the One World train that's going to go from the United States all the way over into Texas, or into Russia and China. Huge heat anomalies. I mean, we could have some volcanic stuff going on down below the ocean out here. Let me back that up to see if it picked up any signs for that volcano that went off. Whoa. That's pretty crazy right there. Look at that cool, look at that super cool spot there. Then we go up. And then when that volcano went off, it blew all that cold away. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, big time heat anomaly. If you guys missed that, missed the video I did yesterday, then when I was talking about the One World train, let me paste this in here real quick. You know, there's a plan that's the New World Order plan. This is the Interbering LLC. And they're building a huge train system. It's going to go underground, under the Bering Strait. They've already started on it. And it's pretty crazy pictures of this tunnel that they're making. See, like, there's going to be a train tracks that go everywhere. They're also doing the same thing down in Australia. Yeah, so part of the tunnel is going to be like a 2-lane highway. There's the core bit that they're using to drill through, you know, miles underground. But yeah, you just go back and watch yesterday's video on this train stuff. It's pretty crazy. See if we can click that. Yeah, when you get the full map and you see it's coming all the way up from the Gulf of Mexico right up California. I mean, these tracks are going to go everywhere. They're all high-speed rails. Here's what it's going to look like. This is the inside view of it. It's like a major highway, an underground highway, and this thing isn't just going to go right at the, you know, the beginning of the ocean. This goes 5 miles inland, then goes underground, then goes all the way across to the island under the Bering Strait, and then straight across over into Russia, and it goes 5 miles in the land before it comes up. And yeah, pretty nuts, man. This is the One World train system. It's going to connect 48 states of the United States into this railroad. So all across Alaska, all across the United States, across Canada, they're going to be able to ship people from one country to the other. They'll be able to do a mass invasion, and nobody would ever know how they got there, how fast. I was kind of wanting to look for the full view here of the map. I think I had it up yesterday, but I can't seem to find it right now. Here's that island. Check it out. Looks like they're right on top of a volcano, which they could be. island right there. Alright, let's go ahead and check the carbon monoxide. Man, I got a stupid itch in my throat I can't get rid of. So look, we can see the fires right there in Arizona, and we have toxic carbon monoxide. See, the air is going to get really stagnant over here. You got the smoke coming up from the Mexico fires. You got the bunker fuel being deployed straight off the coast, and you can see the wind patterns are going right up. This is bunker fuel here on the west coast. You guys are being poisoned by the PM 2.5s from the boats. The east coast, I don't know what the hell's going on over here, but it's constantly pumping out carbon monoxide. I mean, it's really high levels right now. Man, sorry about that. Alright, let's go ahead and check the carbon dioxide. Still high levels down here. This is all coming from the bunker fuels over on the east coast. Same thing. Usually the east coast is the highest spot on the planet. We actually got a pretty high spot there in North South Korea. Ooh, here's the highest spot on the planet up in Alaska. That's kind of right around Hart, Alaska. I think there's some fires up there. And here's the sulfur dioxide mess. If you see all these straight lines, these are the shipping lanes. These are the cargo, the freight, the tankers. And they're pumping out so much sulfur dioxide, which is very hazardous for your health. And then the lighter ones, you can see the lighter stuff too. But these are more cloud seeding operations. They're all over. They're all over the Gulf of Mexico, out here off the east. This is toxic stuff, man. This is mixing in the clouds. This is making the nasty rain. Hey, thanks there, Guru Dog. You know, these are making the storms more electrical because you have all the heavy metal particles, you know, sticking to the nuclei, and then you got carbon fiber clouds being made out here. Pretty nuts. Now let's go check the bad stuff, the PM 2.5s. And you can see right where every fire, look, we still have that anomaly. I don't know what the hell's going on right here in the Bajas. I have not been able to figure out. It's been there for days. Look at that thing. And there's like no fire showing up there. Unless it's like an under the water volcano. I don't know what's going on there. Something crazy. We do got a bunch of fires up in Alaska. So, yeah, PM 2.5s. These are a carcinogen. You know, here's all the dust from the Sahara Desert, pretty much like glass floating through the air. You can check the PM 10s. Heavy. PM 1s are the worst. They're the smallest. These go right into the brain. So yeah, we got some big time issues with the particulate matter, man. That's why we're all coughing and crap. See if this is loaded up any better. Not really, man. I guess you got to stay on the page to get this thing to load up good. Yeah, I do a lot of the apple cider vinegar. I forgot to tonight. So what the heck is going on over here? Look, it's not showing anything on the worldview map. It's crystal clear out here, except for what is this brown little dot? What is that? There's like a brown, let's see if that'll load up any better. I bet there's some kind of undersea volcano thing. Oh no, that's an island. It just wasn't loaded. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over here. Definitely see the fires. A little bit of chemtrailing going on, a little bit of fires. Now we do got a big time spraying over Canada, but let's take a look over here. I seen a pretty mass spraying operation. Where was that? Oh yeah, over here in Barcelona. Look at this. That's a mega spray job. So right here in the Balearic Sea, part of the Mediterranean Sea, you got a mass spraying operation over Barcelona, going all the way over into the Tasmanian Sea. Now the UK, they've been getting hammered just like America, man. They're getting flooded, drowned, chemtrailed. Same thing's going on up here. Mass spraying operations. Some of the craziest flight patterns I've caught up here off the coast of the UK. So they're getting completely waxed up here in the North Sea. And let's go take a look down here. You know who's not getting sprayed, who never gets sprayed? They only got one inadvertent spray the whole year. Back in January, they had a little bit going right over the north part there. Now they've been hit by a couple times by some inadvertent sprays out here in this part of the Mediterranean Sea. They were doing some rain projects over here. The weather generators and the global climate cron were doing some weather modification over here in Iran. They made it snow in the desert for the first time. They completely flooded the place out. I mean, 90% of Iran was underwater. That's what their weather modification programs did. And this is just crazy up here. This is one hell of a shipping operation going on into this pressure system. So the ships are all the way up in the Aleutian Island chain, all the way down through Russia, all the way down almost into China. Then you have actual aerosols being deployed from the plane. So they're hitting the sky from the ground with the ships. You're hitting the sky with the chemtrail planes, and you got a volcano in the mix. Let's go ahead and see what we see on the aerosols here. These storms are not normal. Like, look, here's all the chemtrails being deployed up in Oregon. This is the first part they're seeding. They're seeding a little bit there off the west coast. And over the last few days, they were seeding right here over the Bajas, but it don't look like they're doing it today. They're mainly hitting Oregon, British Columbia, parts of Northern California, and they're spraying all out ahead. Look at that spray job coming out of Canada, going right down into New York, all the way down the East Coast. That's a mega spraying operation. And it started out over the border. These sprays, it don't matter. Borders don't matter with the chemtrail planes. Now what I noticed earlier is this low pressure, they have it spinning and parked right over the mountains where they got the 2 feet of snow. And then once these storms fired off, they pushed it out. And then we got our next wave is going to be coming in tomorrow. We'll see this thing take off like a rocket and start heading over to the same areas. They just parked it there. Here comes all the aerosols feeding into the spinning system. All the aerosols feeding in there, and look, it starts getting pushed off. Oh, cool there. Jim Lee just sent me a Skype message. Yeah, man, go ahead and send that to me, brother. Yeah, I don't answer my Facebook too much, but I can't keep up with all that stuff, man. I'm so far behind on emails. You guys have been sending me a bunch of good pictures and stuff, and I'll try to do a video out of just them. Oh, that's gonna mess up the stream here, Jim. I'll have to call you back there, Jim. Yeah, I don't even know if Jim Lee's out there in the chat there. Yeah, my screen's barely holding right now. So let's see here. Oh, let's go see if we can see the ship tracks over in the west. Like, we need to be way over there. But let's just see the operation going on over here in the west. We'll put it on the micro physics, and you'll be able to see the bunker fuel being deployed in action. Stands out like a sore thumb. Let me turn that off. So look, oh wow, yeah, so if you can see these white lines right here, all down through here, these are the ship tracks dropping the bunker fuel right now. And what's crazy is most of the time when they're dropping the bunker fuel, you're not seeing the chemtrails going across the Bajas. Every once in a while they'll do the double whammy, but right now it's mainly just the bunker fuel. Maybe they don't need the chemtrail planes because of the volcano. That up a little bit. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call this a show. Oh yeah, check out Jim Lee's channel. He's out there. Yeah, Jim, I can't. My stream is just running like crap. So I'll try to talk to you tomorrow while I'm at work or something. I'll send you a text through the Skype or whatever. Anyway, guys, we're going to call this a show. Much love out there. Thanks to everybody that shares this information out. Thanks to everybody that helps us out, helps keep this operation running. Man, I'm out here off grid. The internet dues on this stuff is insane. I've showed my bill before. It's like $350 to $450 a month to do one video a day. So anyway, your guys' help is much appreciated. That's what keeps us going. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it. So anyway, guys, much love. Thanks to everybody out there in Twitch. DLIVE. I'll jump over to DLIVE and give away the treasure chest as soon as I hit the end music and all that stuff. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Much love out there. Here we go. If you like to rock, turn it up. We're going to rise soon. We got to rise soon. Anyway, guys, here we go. Much love.